So people keep saying the truth eventually comes out because, like, you can't hide from it. History is what it is. We've got the videos, we've got the recordings, and it's just a case of digging them out, really. So Martin Brundle has been a commentator of Formula One for, well, Abu Dhabi 2021. He'd been a commentator of the sport for 28 years. He'd been a driver in the sport for 10. And then he'd been this commentator and then presented expert for 28 years. Some of us remember years ago. I mean, some of the audience that we now have, they weren't even a twinkle in their daddy's eye. Okay, some of these kids, they weren't born until 2010. Okay, but some of us watched this when it was on the telly back in 4:3 aspect ratio back in the 2000s. 2000 German Grand Prix. Man on track, yet another non-racing deployment of the safety car. Massa and your lawyers, take note. So let's have a look. Now, before I actually show you the man on track, this is if they show it. I was captivated by the start of this Grand Prix, and I just thought I'd show you something. Let's have a look at the start of the 2000 German Grand Prix. So here we are. Look, this is a replay of it, because you get to see what goes on. Coulthard's on pole position. He cuts across Schumacher. Dirty moves. I don't like it when drivers do this. But this red car of Schumacher, you're going to see him cut over to this right-hand side of the track as we look at it and crowd out Fisichella. I want you to listen to Martin Brundle. Listen to the expert. And no particular reference to Silverstone 2021. I want you to compare and contrast how somebody describes driving and what you heard at this Grand Prix, or about to hear at this Grand Prix, with what you heard at Silverstone 2021. Let's have a look.
Play at the start. Now here we go. Coulthard away moderately well. Schumacher I saw out of the window getting away well. Then stuttered and Hakkinen just drove right through the middle. Now look, Schumacher came across and really blocked Fisichella out. Schuey did not realise Fisichella was there, did not give him any space, and I'm afraid, Michael, you cannot blame that on Fisichella. Look, he's moved across onto his line and then
a driver had moved across onto the other driver's line. You couldn't make it up, could you? Now, even from that angle, right, Schumacher was ahead from the driver cam version. So you could argue that Fisichella should be putting his feet on the brakes and not rear-ending Schumacher. You could argue that. But actually, Schumacher has cut across onto his line as they're going into turn one. Okay? What you saw at Copse Corner at Silverstone is Max Verstappen chopped across onto Lewis Hamilton's front wheel, colliding with it. He took the space that Lewis Hamilton's car was already in. Not about to go in, was already in. And Max Verstappen cut across that car. Yet none of those experts could tell you that. Strange that, isn't it? It's strange that none of those experts of the sport, Martin Brundle, the expert of the sport, couldn't tell you that. Watch this again.
Moderately well. Schumacher I saw out of the window getting away well, then stuttered and Hakkinen just drove right through the middle. Now look, Schumacher came across and really blocked Fisichella out.
So that's Schumacher's fault, but Silverstone wasn't Max's fault. Double standards, isn't it? Double standards. Anyway, we're going to have a look at this this man on the track if they show it us. I got through to about a couple of laps before and heard Brundle still talking about this, so I might even play you that first. Let's see. I am going to play you this because it's worth a listen to. So we've got a female presenter asking Michael Schumacher questions. We're at, what are we, 51 minutes into the coverage now, and they're interviewing Schumacher, who's out the race. So this is what she says about Coulthard.
Bearing in mind the controversy that there's been between yourself and David over start manoeuvres, were you kind of expecting him to pull a move on you like he did?
Listen, I'm out of the race not because of David. I'm out of the race for Fisichella, and that's it. What you can say about it.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, I've got to disagree slightly with Michael. I understand what he's saying, but he took the line. He really closed Fisichella out. He went into Fisichella's space, and Fisichella was unable to slow down. It was no better than 50-50 in my view, Murray. I don't know where you're at on that one.
Well, I agree with you.
So Brundle is saying, no, Schumacher, he took the other guy's space. He was in front of him, right? He didn't run across into the space that Fisichella's car was actually already in, right? Like, which is what Verstappen did to Hamilton at Silverstone, right? But Brundle is still wanting to blame that on Schumacher, but can't ever blame Max Verstappen, can he? Rather strange. But like I say, those of us that have been watching this sport for years, we thought that we were being educated by Martin Brundle because that's our understanding of how motorsport works. But they've changed how motorsport works for the new Max Verstappen rules, where anything goes. It's Supermax. Supermax, it's the best you've ever seen.
I tend to stick up for Schumacher more than most people, but I'm with you on this occasion, and that's cost him another 10 points to the 30 he had already lost through failing to finish this year. And you're looking now at Rubens Barrichello.
See, not finished this year. He fully deserved the championship. He had so much bad luck. He had no luck. It happens, kids. It happens. See, it happened to Schumacher. He lost 30 points that year at that stage, by that stage already, because he hadn't finished certain Grand Prix. Oh yeah, but Max fully deserved 2020-21 because he had a tyre blowout on him at Baku. He fully deserved for them to break the rules to fix it for him.
Back with Pedro de la Rosa in the arrows. He's caught and passed the arrows once already this year, this race, and he's going to do so again to
Anyway, let's see if we can find where this intruder comes out on track. Actually, as it turns out, it was only just seconds on, so I'm just going to play it from here. And they're talking about somebody else retiring because of a mechanical failure. Oh, how unfortunate. Oh, they fully deserve to be gifted the World Championship. They had no luck all year. They had no luck. You fully deserved it. You fully deserved it, Max.
Remember, in Austria, De La Rosa lost a certain points position as the result of the breakage of an
Here he is, look. The man in the Mac.
oil union, which just cost a few pence.
Look, we've got a strange guy walking down the side of the racetrack in a raincoat on the grass, and what on earth is he doing? Crossing the racetrack during the Grand Prix, and clearly either a bit too much beer there, or he's hit his head on something, because he's not being sensible at all. I've never seen this before. Have you ever seen it, Mary?
Well, I've seen a lunatic in Brazil just as the race was starting.
I saw a lunatic in Brazil as well, Marie. Was it 2021, turn 4? I saw a lunatic in Brazil. Crazy shit. Oh, and did he hit his head on something, Brundle? Is he delirious? Has he forgotten the past?
Finishing, rushing out, but that is very bad news indeed.
Safety car, so this will close the pack up. James.
Yeah, safety car, and everybody's reacting quickly. We're going to have everybody making their pit stops in the next few minutes. Ferrari are reacting as well. Trulli's in now. We're expecting who's going to come first from McLaren. This could be very painful for whichever is the second of the two McLarens to make their stop. And Ferrari are reacting as well. They're going to bring Barrichello in and fuel him to the end. Amazing turnaround.
Fantastic development this is. That lunatic, whoever he is changing the complexion of the race on lap 26 out of...
Oh, and an organic safety car situation is changing the complexion of the race. Oh, I think we need to void it. Do the statutes say that we need to void the race? Or do you just deal with whatever the safety concern is, using what it is that you have at your disposal to deal with that safety concern? and all the teams are subject to the same conditions. And you just deal with it. And if your team makes a mistake by releasing you before they've released the refueling rig, unlucky. You can't then go back and go, oh, we need to void that race now. We need to void that race. Bernie says the statutes, according to Bernie, mean you've got to void the race. Somebody show me those statutes. Somebody show me. I'll see if they're the same ones that I've looked at. We'll have a look, shall we? Let's have a look together. That's for a future video. We'll have a look.
45. We're not seeing what is happening to him, but as if there he is,
there he is. Look.
It's got some sort of a Mercedes-Benz slogan on the.
Yeah, it's one of them Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton fan. Oh no, Lewis wasn't around in 2000. Can't have been Lewis's fanboy.
Back of his plastic Mac.
And this is going to cost somebody dearly. Two McLarens running line astern. One of them's going to have to queue in the pit lane. And it's a question of will they catch that safety car? 4.25 mile racetrack. Will they actually catch the safety car before they come around to the end of the lap? The Jordan made good use of the situation. And here comes Hakkinen. What's going to happen? Only one of them can be serviced at a time. There's one pit garage per team. One crew of 22 men. Hakkinen comes in. Coulthard surely will have to come in. If he goes around, he's going to catch the safety car and end up at the back of the queue. No, Coulthard has to go around. He's just got...
Oh, it's ruined Coulthard's race. They have to void the 2000 German Grand Prix, don't they? Coulthard, I think you should get your lawyers, get Felipe Massa's lawyers to make you a case against the FIA, because Mercedes sent this guy out onto track, or maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. Who knows what this guy's motive was? All right, they sabotage your race. I think you need to get Massa's team of lawyers to get some compensation out of the FIA for this race. That's what they think is possible now.
Got to hope and pray he doesn't catch that safety car before he gets round again. He surely will.
Well, they've done what I would have expected. They had to give preference to Hakkinen. He's leading the race. But the question now is, are they going to catch that lunatic who's walking round the course and get him off it? All sorts of things can and will happen as Mika Hakkinen exits the pit lane, and we're on lap 27 now. Remember, Jarno Trulli, who was third, has come in and made his pit stop. He was at the time some 30 seconds behind the McLarens. The safety car is there. Coulthard is behind him.
Coulthard's going to end up last in this race when they restart, and there's Barrichello in again. But Coulthard has now got to do a slow lap behind the safety car, then come in for a stop, so the queue will go, the snake will go past, and Coulthard will end up right on the back of the queue. Disaster for Coulthard.
See, it's a shame, isn't it? Did they void the 2000 German Grand Prix? We'll have a look in a minute.
Barrichello is out before Frentzen. There is Heinz Harald. Barrichello third on the track, third in the race, exits the pit lane before Heinz Harald Frentzen.
Yeah, they've made a desperate mistake by not allowing Coulthard to queue up and just simply wait to be...
Oh, McLaren made a mistake with their strategy call. Rather than double stack, they kept him out on track. So we're saying it's the team's fault. Yeah? It's the team's fault for how they dealt with that situation. Oh, like it was in Singapore in 2008. It was Ferrari's fault for releasing Massa before they detached the refueling rig. Yeah? Oh, that's how we're dealing with it. Sorry, David. Okay. Don't go and ask Massa's lawyers to make a case for you. You'd just be wasting your money.
Service. Now he's got to come in for his stop and let... and James, what can you say?
Well, I was just about to say, Martin, why didn't he come in and queue up? And I really think that's what Ron Dennis told the mechanics he was going to do. I saw him come shooting off the pit wall and telling the tyre guys, get DC's tyres ready as well, because he's coming in as well. And then he went just on straight past. Maybe it was a communication error. Maybe there was a little bit of everybody talking at the same time because it was...
A communication error, like the Ferrari pit stop in 2008 when Massa got released before he should have gone. A communication error.
Such chaos down here, but Coulthard has certainly paid a heavy price. I said the guy from McLaren who came in second was going to lose out, but I really didn't expect it to be this much.
And where is Mr. Halfwit now walking round the track? We don't see him.
Where is Mr. Halfwit now? Well, I think he's hiding in the comment section to this video, and there's more than one of them.
But this is yet another indication of something that I keep on saying, that Formula One and motor racing are not just about the best driver, they're about the best driver allied to the best car, allied to the best team and the best backup. And
see that, Supermax fans? It's not just about Supermax. Oh no, it's all about Supermax, our hero.
And here comes the safety car towards us with David Coulthard, who's potentially last in the race, and there you can see another additional car, and whoever it is going to be put into that car. He's made his point, whatever it is, and I hope he feels happy about it. I just can't imagine what is going on in his mind, but my goodness, it doesn't half change the race for us. Safety car. Coulthard will have to come in now, or will he stay out?
Well, he can stay out. I'm sure he's got more fuel than
he's coming in. Look,
yes, the mechanics are ready for him, but if the safety car's going in this lap, there's David trying to get himself as much space as possible. Yes, he is coming in, so the safety car's staying on track. Now, Coulthard's got to somehow stop, but he won't be allowed back out of the pit until after the snake have gone past, probably. And disaster for Coulthard.
And
worst day of his life. Terrible.
Trulli is up into second place ahead of Rubens Barrichello as the McLaren mechanics do the best they possibly can for David Coulthard, who has been cruelly cheated of his position.
Yeah, crucial mistake there by somebody.
Cheated, or just a mistake by the McLaren strategists.
Not allowing Coulthard to come in and queue. I don't know, it may have been him, may have been a communication problem, may have been a decision problem, but look, he's going to end up virtually at the back of the snake, having been in a strong second place. Hakkinen is at the front of the queue. We saw him behind Coulthard before Coulthard had to pit, and there it is now, look. So where is Coulthard in the race, Murray?
Yeah, but look at this, you see, all tight up behind. The race is in effect restarting, as you see. Mika Hakkinen leading, Jarno Trulli second, Rubens Barrichello third, De La Rosa is fourth, Frentzen is fifth, and David Coulthard there in sixth position.
It didn't work out quite as bad as I thought, but bad enough for Coulthard, because he's now at the back of that pack, and of the front runners of the afternoon. It's flip-flopped him right.
See, it takes a while for the pack to bunch, doesn't it? Those of us that have watched the sport for a while, we realise that.
Back there, and the lights are still on the safety car. Strange message here on the computer, look, Murray. Maybe hopefully we'll never see that again. Man on track.
We won't see that again, will we? We won't see that again. Or will we? Anyway, let's see how that impacted the race and the World Championship. Well, in that race, Coulthard eventually finished third, picking up 4 points. Barrichello eventually won it, and Hakkinen came second. But all that time lost, all that disadvantage, as a result of an inorganic safety car and then some poor performance by a team, impacted David Coulthard's chances in that race. How did that then translate to the World Championship standings for 2000? Well, Coulthard came third in the championship on 73 points. So although he got 4 points as opposed to a potential 10 in Germany, those extra 6 points, had he have won that race, well, wouldn't have changed his position in the championship. What's this? We've got disqualified from Brazil and Mika Salo disqualified from the Australian Grand Prix. People were disqualified from races back then. Why were they disqualified? It wasn't like driving other cars off the track or brake testing cars, was it? Was nothing like that? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe that's for another video to explore when drivers are disqualified from Formula One and the reasons they're disqualified. Anyway, this is Number 2 in the series of inorganic deployments of the safety car, ahead of, just completely obliterating the notion of Massa ever getting anything out of Crashgate. Until next time, thanks for your time.